104, 7 seconds to play.
We're going to be talking basketball.
Dishes it to Barkley, who somehow finds daylight. Allen for the win! Yes!
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Sixers Postgame Show with Dennis and KJ McCoy. Proudly powered by TickPick. Let's take it to the show.
What's going on, guys, and welcome to Sixers Postgame Show. It's KJ McCoy. We got Dennis, and we got a special guest, TJ, in the mix. So welcome in, TJ. How you doing tonight?
Oh, what's going on, brother, man? I couldn't be better, dude. I couldn't be better.
Yeah.
Welcome to the
Loading up the
Sixers
tank.
party, bruh.
Yeah,
Yes,
welcome to the or funeral.
Welcome.
I guess
Hold on.
it's actually, the funeral, I would probably say. more
How
than a
could we
party.
word this to make TJ not hate us?
Yeah.
Welcome to the party that never ends, where we can talk bad, we can talk good, where we can talk about just about anything Sixers. Welcome, my friend. Again, sorry my camera's not on, ladies and gentlemen. I have bullcrap internet. It's like I'm staying at McDonald's or something with this internet.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
strongly apologize. I miss you all. I love you guys. Why? Why this team? Why?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of why questions, and we'll get into it. Obviously, I mean, the score's not up there right now, but the final score goes down. The Timberwolves, 126. The Sixers, 112. So that puts the Sixers at 21-40. The T-Wolves, they're doing great. They're 34-29. I think they're like second in the West, but they're a good team, obviously. The first thing, I mean, we got to go over we'll save the Grimes talk for probably the end, because that's the most exciting part of all of this. But I mean,
Well, before we get to that,
yeah,
KJ, I because me and you have kind of went over this with our fan base here. TJ, I'm just gonna ask you, man. You know, as a fan and as somebody that's been watching the show since we started it and being excited for it, what is your feedback and the state of the Sixers right now? Like, what is your general feeling after hearing what we've said about the team and our input? Like, where are you at with it?
Oh, man, dude. It's difficult to describe where I'm at. I mean, back in October, I was on the podcast, man. I jumped on and I said that this was going to be the year we got out of second round hell. That was recorded, dude. That's out there forever. I said that shit. Oh my God, I couldn't be more wrong. So I want to publicly apologize for my comments back in October. I'm deeply ashamed of what I said. That the Sixers would make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. That was just dead wrong. But now, dude, I'm actually excited to load up the tank and fight for our flag, Cooper flag, that is.
Yeah, Cooper Flag, that's right.
So
Hopefully he doesn't take that contract with Duke. So we'll see.
yeah, true. Yeah, I mean,
Well,
geez, dude, if he ducks us, that would just be, I mean, that would be
that
peak.
would suck.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously the team's really disappointed to watch this season. The way things have been handled with Joel's injury have just been really awful. Paul George has been a lame duck. And of course, we're missing Maxey. So, oof.
Right. So
All that
I guess
together,
we'll-
man.
Yeah, I guess we'll get into that first, since you mentioned Paul George. What have you seen from Paul George, obviously? And what do you think is really wrong with the guy? Obviously, injuries is one of them, but what do you think? I mean, like, what have you seen from Paul George that really disappoints you the most?
Dude, I think it's just a combination of, I mean, the injuries are nagging, but also the morale is low with the team, the way the organization is run in general, the way the things have been handled with Joel. But then also, I mean, he's an older player that secured the bag. He's got endeavors outside of basketball. Obviously, you've
Yeah.
seen everything. He's had more podcasts than games played, up to that certain point in the season. So, I mean, it's just all that combination of things has just made it the perfect storm of mediocrity as far as the relationship between Paul George and the Sixers organization. It's just been pretty lame the whole
Yeah.
season.
Now, he made a statement either today or yesterday, and I give the man credit. He said he was going to back off of doing his podcast so they could focus up a little bit more. Granted, it's a little too late to focus now because of how far we are into the season. But he made a statement basically saying, like, we haven't played as a championship caliber team. We've been very distracted, and people are now starting to take accountability. So, I mean, he didn't really call anybody out, but he did state that members of the Sixers roster are taking accountability, even himself. Um, so again, I'm not ready to hop off the PG train and say he's a disappointing, because again, we're dealing with injuries nonstop. It's just one thing after another for this team, and they just can't stop shooting themselves in the foot, or the injury bug just can't stop shooting them in the foot. So I'm still in this hopeful PG train that maybe next year he'll turn it around and be a different version of himself, and maybe he'll have a little bit more help. That's just me. Like, I've never been a big PG fan, but if you're man enough to take accountability, and then you're willing to go to the media and make that comment and say that the team's taking accountability, that means you're trying to be the leader that Joel, not the process anymore, Embiid,
Yeah.
is not being. And where Maxey's still young and he's growing, he doesn't understand how to be that leader role yet. That's the player you need to do it, because he's been in the league long enough.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion of PG. I know it's sad and it's disturbing that he's not putting up PG like style points, but again, the man is 36 years old.
Yeah. He's older. I mean, he's a veteran, and he's had injuries. I mean, he's had a lot of injuries that have taken a toll on him, and it's really shown. I mean, we thought that maybe over here with the Sixers, it would kind of change, having a different kind of role with having two guys like Maxey and Embiid. But I mean, that lineup, I mean, those three have not really seen the court together at all, which is sad to really realize. But it's just reality with us, dude. It's reality, and it's just it's depressing, as TJ was saying before. It's just depressing as a Sixers fan for sure.
Yeah, and Dennis, I see what you're saying about the importance of taking accountability as far as Paul George is concerned, but I also want to kind of take that with a grain of salt because, I mean, it's really easy to start saying you're going to take accountability,
Yeah.
when the bar's on the floor in terms of expectations for the season, and there's no real pressure to contend now, especially with Joel Embiid done for the season. And we've seen guys on this team in the past who can take accountability when it's easy, but choke when it's time to come up clutch. We've seen that 2019, 2021, over and over again. We do this dance with guys that can take accountability when it's easy to take accountability, but when it gets tough, man, we fall apart.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just
No, no,
the culture of the
I don't
organization.
disagree. I don't disagree whatsoever.
It's just the culture of the organization right now, like
It
from
is.
top to bottom, is just kind of in the toilet.
Right. So one of the other topics as well we're going to talk about that you actually mentioned, TJ. What do you think really this team? I mean, with missing a guy like Maxey, do you think it also is taking a toll on this team in general? Because he is probably as Dennis was saying too, he's one of the leaders on this team that isn't Joel Embiid, because Joel Embiid, in me and Dennis's opinion, is just not a leader. And I mean, there's many examples why, and I could go on for hours about Joel Embiid. But what do you think with the absence of Maxey? And I'm pretty sure it's only supposed to be temporary. I don't think it's that serious of an injury. I think he should be back from what I'm hearing. But what do you think? Just, I mean, not having a guy like Maxey right now with this squad.
Yeah, because I mean that's the thing. Like having a young guy like Maxey, who's a young stud, a future leader of this team, a rising star. That's the thing you want to have hope for because this is the type of season where we're looking to the future. Just because it's been such a mediocre season, and so the future, of course, right now for us is Tyrese Maxey. And so we're looking to the future, and right now our future is injured. And so that's just like one more cherry on top of this Sunday we're eating right here this season.
Right.
So yeah, definitely missing him. Hoping for him to be recovered soon. Back in the lineup, getting the chemistry up with all these guys, playing with with PG when he can. And just keep building that up and get ready for next season. It's really what the whole team should be focused on.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
a
No.
lot of it with
Yeah. What do you got,
Maxey at
Dennis?
this point, Maxey's burned out. He's been carrying
Yeah.
the team for the last 2 seasons because Joel the coward Embiid, Joel injury prone Embiid, Joel ouch my knee, don't let me play, or I'm gonna go play in the Olympics and not be healthy all year. Embiid.
Yeah. Go represent a country that you're not
He's
from.
yeah, right. Like it's like the Rock. When the Rock acted like Ricky, I did it for the Rock. I did it for myself because I'm an MVP and I'm Joel Embiid. Well, no, you're Joel, not Embiid. You're Joel the fraud. Joel never gonna do nothing except cry in Toronto because you got told that you suck, or somebody made fun of your brother. Go yourself, dude.
Right.
Like
I mean,
Maxey's burned out. God bless the kid for pouring his heart on the floor for the Sixers. I mean, we could be in a way worse situation. We could have a Kyrie Irving situation and have a blown out knee and the kid be done until halfway through next year. Like, this is just becoming a point. Maxey's burned out. Maxey needs help. It's not, like y'all said, go get Cooper. Like, you have to do what you have to do to go get Cooper to alleviate the pressure on Maxey because Maxey is so burned out. PG's not a starting 5. He's probably a 6th or 7th man at this point in his career. He doesn't need to be starting next year. You have to get Maxey help and build around him. Grimes has stepped up. That's where you're gonna kick in. And that's a lot of what it is. It's Maxey is burned out, so now his body's gonna take a hit, and it's gonna become. TJ, help me out here. What Sixers player got burned out really quick? When he was young and they wasted him. I don't want to compare Maxey.
there's been a lot. There's been a good amount.
All right, here. Well, then I'll go to this one then. If this keeps going the way it's going with Maxey, it's going to turn into a Derrick Rose situation in Chicago.
Oh, jeez. I mean,
that's what they're doing to him.
You don't want that. And obviously, with the injuries that Derrick Rose suffered, I mean, they were catastrophic and they were very serious. And the funny thing is, and I'm not trying to make it funny because it's not funny at all, but like the first time he really had that serious injury where like the injury bug just happened for him was actually against the Sixers in 2012 in the playoffs. So, I mean, that's the only reason why we won that series is because Derrick Rose was out.
And again, I'm not trying to be mean and curse Maxey or nothing, so nobody take it that way.
And nobody else, I'll say this too, Dennis, nobody else take it that Dennis was like causing any hatred towards Joel's brother, okay? Because I know some people. It's all right. But I mean, the way that I know the way you were trying to put it. It just, it's all good though. Because I just wanted to clarify that with that.
Well, no, because that's what he was crying about because he was upset because somebody said something. Yes, that was wrong. I don't disagree. Nobody should have mentioned his brother. Like, that's just off the record. You shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, that's
it
what
was
Dennis
just a prime example. It was a prime example that he was crying. And again, we wear our hearts on our sleeves in Philly. Like, you can't just cry and think you're not going to get made fun of, even though it was a wrong situation to make fun of you. But again, to the Maxey situation, if this does not clear up soon and get him some help next season, we're going to look at a Derrick Rose situation and he's going to be hurt.
Yeah, that could happen. I mean, also to think of, we were just talking about the Dennis, you mentioned the Toronto series. Now this guy was there for the Toronto series, but he was on the other side, and that's Nick Nurse. Now I wanna get to a comment, and I'm glad that there's actually a Raptors fan in here. I'm surprised, but there's a Raptors fan in here. He has this, and TJ, you can actually answer this question first. Do you think Nick Nurse will be gone?
No, I don't think Nick Nurse goes this season. That is something, I had thought about and was apprehensive of for this season was Nick Nurse potentially being fired with just the way things started, the way things have been going with Paul George. But the thing I think that saves Nick Nurse's job is the fact that Joel Embiid's out for the season. And like I've said before, expectations are on the floor. This isn't a team that ownership expects to contend, despite what they're saying. To quote James Harden, Daryl Morey is a liar.
Yeah.
And so when Daryl Morey says if you squint, you can see a contender, he's lying.
Yeah.
He's saying that because he has to. So I don't think Nick Nurse gets fired because the team is going to perform as expected terribly. So no, I don't think his job's in danger this year, but next year, look for that to be, a big story potentially if they're underperforming.
He's on the hot seat next season. There's no doubt about it. The only thing that I'll say about this with the Sixers organization and Nick Nurse, how is it that our ownership can have a stake in the Commanders and the Commanders can turn everything around in the season, but they don't want to put money towards the Sixers? And maybe they'll wise up and understand that they invested in the wrong team because the right team won the Super Bowl, just saying. But Nick Nurse need to go. Somebody call Larry Brown, tell him to come back for a season, even though he's like 90. Or somebody call Phil Jackson and pull the Will Smith line, diamond bitch. Like somebody, for the love of God, help. Or somebody tell Shaq to be a coach.
Oh, he'll just, you know what he'll do? He'll make a man out of Joel Embiid for sure. Or he'll just, he'll honestly,
he'll bench him.
He'll bench him, and that will be great though. The guy is pretty much benched already, but he'll just probably just call him a bunch of names and everything. He'll just probably call him a coward.
Instead of the Sixers putting low prices on seats, they could just charge Joel Embiid rent for sitting on the bench.
They could do that. That would be funny. That would be funny.
Hey man, you got to pay off your contract by paying rent.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh. Now I know this isn't a topic, but I mean, I do want to, since we do have TJ here, we can go into a little bit of detail about Embiid. I think we definitely can. And here's the question I do have for you, TJ, because there has been some really interesting news coming out about Embiid. And if he does apparently get cleared, or if he doesn't get cleared by doctors to play, I believe next season, we can actually get the, I think he has to give up the money or something like that. There's something with that. I mean, you might be able to.
They can force him into medical retirement is what.
Yeah, medical. Said. Yeah. Like a Yao Ming kind of situation.
It has to be. It has to be this time next season. It's either forced medical retirement or, per NBA rules, bylaws, or however they word it in the NBA now, is the contract would be wiped, and the Sixers would not have to worry about his contract money whatsoever. So that would free up. How much is he due to make in the next 2 seasons, KJ? Can you look it up, or does anybody know?
Good question. I know how much. Another Philly athlete's supposed to be making, but in Saquon Barkley. But okay, so Joel Embiid reported 3-year, $193 million extension with the Sixers.
Yeah, so that will wipe out next season and the season after that. He wouldn't have to pay us back, but that would make up cap space that they could go out and afford to get a bigger name, whoever's due to hit the free agency market. KJ, if you get a chance, check your text message.
Yeah, I see it.
But that would be how that would work. I mean, that would also benefit in their favor. unless they trade him off. But even if it comes to the fact that they're just going to do that and do the medical retirement, at least the way I see it, we're still looking at another season of probably doubts and probably not as bad as what we're looking at now. But after that, we should have money to go and get a bigger name star to help Maxey. I think that's more of what the realism is. So not 2026, but 2027 season. We should have cap space there to go get somebody unless something happens that they can free up money and get somebody in the offseason. But if that happens with Embiid, that's what will help us. But Nick Nurse needs to be fired. I'm done with him.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who are kind of blaming a lot of this on Nick Nurse. I kind of think it's a situation where he was kind of fed this situation. I think he also felt like he could really make a difference for this team. I mean, he has a pedigree, obviously, being a champion. But I think with the situation that he's come into, I mean, and how it's kind of changed over time, I mean, the guy is dealing with disaster, but he's also not. But it seems like he can't really get a grip of himself, because tonight he had a tech in the game. He was really, like, that's why we have this title right here, because he got a tech in this game. He was complaining a certain call, and he went off the bench and he went at the ref and everything like that, and they gave him a tech, which they probably should. But it just seems like I've been seeing him a lot, and it makes a lot of sense. I've been seeing a lot of his demeanors being like angry, and he's not satisfied at all. And I don't blame him. I mean, I think the guy wants to win. I think he wants to keep his job. And I think, like, a lot of it isn't his fault, but some of it is, though. So, I mean, I get what you're saying, though, Dennis. I think it can go both ways.
I think he's just at that point that like, he's trying to show his players, like, hey, I'm here for you. I'm going to ride it with you. And I think he's trying to get that bond with his players, that his players are going to fight for him. I just think it's too late, because unfortunately he's cleaning up Doc Rivers' garbage. But TJ, I'll let you go on this one and let you see how you feel.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I actually am a fan of Nick Nurse's, and you got to remember, dude, Nick Nurse is the only guy in the building with a ring.
Yep.
So, we got to cool it on some of the Nick Nurse talk, man, because ultimately, I mean, there's not a super talented roster in the building. I mean, Joel Embiid playing through injury, out for the season. Tyrese Maxey, a rising star, but he's not going to carry you to a finals, so. I mean, Nick Nurse is coaching the team he's given. He's being set up by the ownership and by Daryl Morey, with the players, and then he goes on and coaches them, and hopefully we win, So he's doing his job to the best of his ability with the roster he's been given. So I do think his job's not in jeopardy this season, rightfully so. I'm excited. I was excited when we first hired him, and I'm still excited to see what he can do. But we got to bring in the right personnel. And so basically that's what I'm going to leave you guys with here as I'm jumping off. But, basically just
No
looking
worries,
forward to
man.
next
Go ahead.
season. Like, Nick Nurse is a great coach. If we bring the right guys in, and hopefully, I'm really hoping Joel Embiid gets right. I really hope we don't have to go down the route of medically
Right.
retiring him. The team would have to evaluate what's best for them. And we
Yep.
want to do right by Joel if possible, but ultimately the organization has to move forward if that's the case. If he needs to be medically retired, then so be it. I know that's not what Joel wants, but it is what it is. If the team needs to do what's best for the team, we're looking ahead to the future. This season is a wash,
Yep.
and I was totally wrong in October. So again, sorry for that. But no, I mean, just looking forward to next season.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, that's what we got to do, obviously. But thank you, TJ, for joining in. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you again, shortly, pretty soon. A couple
Oh,
of
Merry
yeah,
shows
Christmas.
anytime.
later,
We love
hopefully.
you.
Merry Christmas. Love you guys too,
Yeah.
brothers in arms here, Philly Sports.
Yep.
It's
Of
always a
course, TJ.
grind. And take care. God bless. Go
Yep. God
Birds.
bless. And go Birds.
Go
How about them
Birds.
Birds? How about them? Super Bowl champs. All right. So that was
I like that
TJ.
guy. First time
Yeah,
I've
he's
ever met
awesome.
him. I like him.
Great guy. TJ's always been a great guy. He's got great Sixers knowledge, great basketball knowledge. And it's always really cool to talk to him and get his perspective for sure.
KJ, I have a question though.
What you got?
If we have to medically retire Embiid, right?
Yeah. Right.
Can we change his name from Embiid to Ming and call him Joel Ming?
I think me and you can both do that. We could do that for sure. We could probably do that. I don't know if you could just go into the Sixers, if you could go in the Wells Fargo Center and bring a sign, hey, we've legally changed your name to Joel Ming.
Dude, just get a customized jersey with his number and then put the last name as Ming.
Or dude, you know what? You just go get his original number he was supposed to have, and then I think what was it? Something with Drew. He switched because Thaddeus Young, I think, or I don't even know because he was number 11 originally, and then he switched. I guess.
Well, there's our problem. There's our freaking problem.
Yeah,
he's got Carson Wentz disease. He's got Carson Wentz disease.
Yeah, the only outlier with number 11 I can think of is AJ Brown. That's the only outlier of an 11. But yeah, I mean, Yao Ming wore 11, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. We were just saying Yao Ming and Joel, very similar situation.
There's been two good things of the number 11 in Philadelphia. AJ Brown being number 1, number 2 being the fact that we had Tim Tebow for a preseason.
That's true. We did have Tim Tebow. We did with the college team that we had. That Chip Kelly was trying to make this college fantasy team. I'm
just trying to make light of our struggles this season with the Sixers fans. I love you guys. I'm sorry. I need something to help me with my emotions today.
Right.
KJ, that mustache looks good today, sir.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Just trimmed it up. So, well, speaking about growing, like I do with my mustache, and I shave it and everything like that. That's perfect transition. Quentin Grimes. This kid is balling out. And you know what the crazy thing is, Dennis, that I just actually figured out, and I don't even know if you knew this. Quentin Grimes has a brother, and he doesn't play basketball. He plays in the NHL. He's an NHL player. Yeah. It's I'm trying to think his name. I think it was Myers. It was what was his name again? Well, let me see. It was Quentin Grimes' brother. Okay, his brother is this is his half brother. So they both share the same mom. But yes, I mean, hockey fans out there, Matt Bear, if you're around, I'll do the hockey call. Hockey. Put your sticks down. Tyler Myers is actually half brothers with Quentin Grimes.
That's wild.
Yeah.
As far as Grimes continues, the kid has dog mentality.
Yeah.
It is just overrun. Now that McCain is hurt, unfortunately, he's got a chance to step out, and he is stepped out big, and he ain't gonna go quietly. So next season, do you think about it? You got Maxey, you got McCain, and now you got Grimes. Do you bump Grimes to the 3 and you run Maxey, McCain, and Grimes? And then you could probably get away with pushing Drummond to the 4 and then or put him to the 5 and do whatever you want with the 4. But it ain't going to be PG in the starting 5. But they've got a lot of potential of what they could do. Well, Oubre could go to the 4, I guess you could do if he's do we have him for another year?
Who do we have Oubre, you're saying, or
is Oubre good for another year?
I think Oubre's good for another year. I'm pretty sure he's under contract with us. I know Grimes apparently is supposed to be a free agent, but
he'll get re-signed.
I think they're going to re-sign him. I think so. And I think also with the struggles that this team is having, I don't think Grimes is going to be the one to be like, you know what, though, I want to go to another place and whatever. I think the guy just wants an opportunity. And I think he kind of realizes like, oh, I'm playing good in this system. And Grimes actually might be Nick Nurse's. I mean, I know that you think that Nick Nurse could be in jeopardy. I think Grimes can maybe save Nick Nurse from being fired. I think he probably could. Just
This is
as
one
his,
leg of it, but it's
yeah,
going to be a
it's one
6-leg
leg, but
race.
yeah. But I mean, the guy already had. I mean, he had his career high a couple days ago, 44 points, and then tonight he has a 30-point game. And I got to say, Quentin Grimes, thank you, because I actually I made an in-game bet, and that was awesome because I said that you were going to score more than 29.5. You scored 30 points, so you got me some money. So thank you, Quentin Grimes. I appreciate you. You made me some dimes, buddy. So I
It's not
appreciate it.
healthy to gamble, KJ.
It's not. It's not. I'm not a gambler. Okay. I'm not a gambler. I do occasional bets. Like it'll pop in my head, like maybe
That's still not healthy.
no, it's fine. It's occasional. Trust me, I know some gamblers. I know some really bad degenerate gamblers. I am
Don't
not one
judge
of them.
me.
No, not you. Not you.
I only judge horse racing. Don't judge me.
Yeah. So yeah, no, Quentin Grimes though. I mean, it was even though this team was struggling tonight, and I mean I wouldn't say they were struggling, but I mean like they were tied with the T-Wolves, I believe, at like 80 something at one point. So they were keeping.
They were only down by 2 points for the first 3 quarters by the time the quarter was over. So
yep, yeah.
I'm starting to think that the end of the games is, and I don't mean to cut you off, KJ. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I think they're burned out because they don't have depth on the bench.
Yeah.
So you got all these guys running extended minutes and they can't get a break. And the ones that are in there, they're not used to playing with certain ones because they're not in those packages, and they're burned out. I think it's coming down to they're tired, the injuries are catching up, and there's nobody there to back it up.
Yeah, and I mean they were talking about how they signed some players for like two-way deals. They got some guy who was playing over in Europe, and he was an undrafted free agent from Alabama. And he apparently was like a guy who used to move furniture out for like other students, and like he was like a bartender and whatever. So they literally got a guy. Well, he was at Alabama, but then he went overseas, and the Sixers called him over. He actually made a 3 in the game at the end because they brought him in at garbage time. He made a 3, his first career 3 in the NBA, which was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, it kind of reminded me of hearing those kind of stories. It reminded me of those days of when we had guys like I'm trying to think. We had guys like Henry Sims or like Hollis Thompson, 2 Georgetown alums. I'm trying to think who else. Just a lot of guys.
Young, Lou Williams, all the.
Well, no. Those guys were legit players. Thaddeus Young still plays in the league. Don't put the disrespect on Thaddeus Young. Because he's still.
What was the other guy? He had like 2 last names, or Caldwell Pope or whatever that we had for like a year.
We didn't. I don't think we had Caldwell Pope.
Who was it? It was somebody else. He had 2 last names.
Yes. Timothy Larua Cabarrot.
No, not that guy.
Okay, but
it was another. We drafted him and then we got rid of him. I mean, the Jahlil Okafor season, you had that. Then you had the other guy. It's just, Michael Carter Williams. That's who it was.
Oh, Carter Williams. Yes, Carter Williams. It was unfortunate with him. I mean, he seemed like such a great future talent. Obviously going, I mean, his first career game going against somebody. No, we are not going to mention that name. We are not going to mention that name right now. You're going to get him triggered. So do not mention that name, Jack. This is a basketball show.
Oh, here we go. All right. You know what? I saw it. Jack, it's on. Here we go. You done did it now.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you.
Happy birthday to Mr. Reed Blankenship, who did absolutely shit in the Super Bowl because he is. Come on, KJ, say it with me.
He's shit.
Thank you. So, this is actually about the Sixers, where our team is right now. So, I guess Reed Blankenship could play for the Sixers right now because he's shit. Exciting whites, yes, but the one thing that Sidney Brown has that Reed Blankenship does not, a 99-yard touchdown interception. So take that to the bank, Jack. Quentin
Thanks a
Grimes
lot,
has a
Jack.
lot to do, man. I
We
love
try
Quentin
and avoid
Grimes.
that
He's growing.
name on this podcast because then Dennis goes into rage mode, which I understand. But if it was an Eagles show, I would say go all for
He
it.
can't tackle.
Yeah, no, I know. See, we gotta move on from it though.
But so Quentin Grimes, the kid is a standout. He's a stud. I think that's a powerful 3. If you can get Maxey, him, and McCain all on the same starting lineup, I think that is a deadly trio that could lead to a lot of good things. I'm not saying it's a big 3 like Bosch, Wade, and LeBron, but
yeah, no.
if you let them 3 build together, you could have something like that or better.
Yeah. I mean, we were just talking to TJ about it too. I mean, we were talking about how it's like this season is just a wash, and like it's just like, you know what, we got a tank. As Dalt just said, tank time. Get that tank out. It hasn't been here for a little while, but we still have it. We'll get the dust off it from the 2013, 2014. We'll get the dust off the tank.
I mean, we don't need a tank. I mean, I can just come up there and step around the building. I'm fat enough.
Dennis, we copping a Grimes jersey.
I'm down. But first, we got to get the Joel Ming jersey first.
Joel, yeah, we were talking about. Dennis wants to legally change Joel Embiid's name to Joel Ming. Wow.
Can we change it to Joel Rose?
Hey, I like Derrick Rose. I love Derrick
but
Rose.
He's got worse knees than Derrick Rose.
And I love Yao Ming too. So it's like the difference is I don't love Joel Embiid anymore. I don't. I don't ever.
Oh man. We'll give him 2 last names, Joel Ming Rose.
Friday said Miles Turner will be a Sixer next season. Book it. I doubt it. Is he a free agent? I mean, I don't know if he's gonna. I mean, if you have,
I wouldn't mind it.
Oh Jesus Christ! I see this freaking bug. Oh shit! Sorry guys, freaking bug.
Why would you do that, man? You just hurt Joel Embiid.
Yeah. I
wouldn't mind Miles Turner though, man. Miles Turner's a friggin' brute.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with the Sixers this offseason. We'll see if anyone wants to really sign up for this because it's like a volunteer thing. So if you want to,
for the love of God, Sixers, if you love us, bring back the Allen Iverson 2000 jerseys. Stop bringing back the Spectrum jerseys.
Well, I mean, we'll go into that for a little bit. I mean, as one of the last topics too. I don't know why you bring back the Spectrum jerseys, not once, but twice. Like, I'm sorry, but like, if you're going to bring back the Spectrum era, at least bring back like the Dr. J jerseys, like the red ones or the white ones. Like,
I'll be fine with that.
Those would be nice. But if you're going to do this, I swear to God, if they do another Spectrum one, I will buy it and I will buy a fake one and then burn it on video. And I'll say,
don't get me wrong. I love the Spectrum because growing up, now granted, KJ, I'm 30. I'm 33.
Multiple times,
but dude, like I was there watching Monster Jam when I grew up when they did the monster trucks inside the Spectrum.
Right.
And being able to look up and see the banners, you know, because they left the old banners over there even when they went over to the Wells Fargo.
Right.
The Spectrum carries so much history, but God forbid, man, just let it lie. Leave it alone. The foundation is gone. The building's gone. It's a parking lot and a grass section. Leave it excuse my language, leave it the hell alone. Let it be dead. We got enough drama about a freaking stadium right now. We don't need to be reliving a building that everybody complained that they tore it down when it was empty for over 10 years.
Yeah.
Leave it alone. Bring back something that you know the connect with, a.k.a. hip-hop. Get rid of Franklin. Bring back the jerseys we like. We would all like to see the bunny, not the freaking dog.
Honestly, I thought about this. Franklin does not look like a dog, really. He kind of resembles like a rabbit, but
He
like
looks like an adult version of Blue's Clues.
Apparently, he's a labradoodle of all dogs. He's a
There's
labradoodle.
no way that thing's a labradoodle. There ain't no fucking way. It's like when you think of Franklin, it's like they were like, what kid show can we name this dog after that we all knew? Oh, yeah, Clifford and Franklin. So let's just name him Franklin. But it also makes sense because Ben Franklin was in Philadelphia and he's on top of City Hall.
No, he's not.
Whatever.
No, it's William Penn is on top of City.
I don't fucking care, man. Look, I'm so mad right now. Whatever. Freaking Liberty Bell, William Penn's on top of City Hall. Ben Franklin's house is in Philly somewhere. Jack still thinks Blankenship is any good. The Sixers are tanking. The Flyers can't make up their mind. The Phillies, it's still early. We got a dog as a mascot that they thought they were naming Clifford. Like, for the love of God, man, just make something make sense anymore. The only good thing about this team is me and KJ get to do a podcast twice a week and see each other and talk.
Yeah, we get to make
this is getting to be fucking depressing.
We get to make fun out of it. So
thanks, Tick Pick, for your sponsorship.
Yeah, thank you guys. We appreciate it. Let me get that little there it is. I think it, or do we not have one? We do have one in spirit, Tick Pick. We still love you, don't worry. But I thought we had one for here. But Nick's Pizza, we do love you. You are the best pizza in Delaware. So if you guys are in the Delaware area, go get yourself some Nick's Pizza. They got a new location. I believe like Bristol or wherever. I'm still getting used to locations in Delaware. You can let me know in the comments. But yeah, I think me and Dennis are going to wrap this show up because I'm probably going to get some shut eye.
Is Jack still here?
Jack probably isn't here. I know Dennis is probably going to stay up until 4 a.m. and have a big party with a bunch of people in Florida.
I'm not staying up till 4 a.m. I just have something I need to say to Jack.
He's not here. Oh, North Wilmington. Sorry, Dolt. Thank you.
No, Jack's here. He just likes to stay quiet. But I'll let you do your little closing thingy, and then I'll do mine.
Okay, cool. Well, we appreciate you guys joining in. The views weren't as good, but they were still pretty good. You know, it's a little later now. I get it. Some people are probably sleeping. Some kids are probably going to school tomorrow, so they probably said, "Timmy, go to sleep." And they're like, "No, we want to watch a show." But it's all right. You can watch it tomorrow. Oh, he's here. Hey, Jack, I did not say anything for you to call me that word. Okay, Dennis probably did, but I did not say anything. But yes, thank you guys. And even though this team is depressing, we try and bring out the positivity in it, and we try and analyze certain things for sure. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I think the next game for the Sixers, I believe, is
Thursday, I think.
Thursday against the my phone is being weird. Okay, it is against the what is going on? That is weird that it's going backwards. That's freaking weird. Why is it going backwards? Okay, what's the 3-6? That is against the Boston Celtics. The Celtics.
In Boston.
Yeah, in Boston. The Celtics. Yep. So we got to go up. And Sundays versus the Jazz, the Utah Jazz, even though Utah, fun fact, does not have a single Jazz station on the radio.
On that note.
Just like how LA doesn't have any lakes. So Minnesota, you should have the rights to the Minnesota Lakers. Just saying. But Dennis, take it away.
Hey, Jack. It's an outro, not an intro. Play that motherfucking outro. Blankenship sucks.
We copied you, Jack.
104, 7 seconds to play.
We're going to be talking basketball.
Dishes it to Barkley, who somehow finds daylight.